Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in, listening, tuning in to the 800 Credit Score Man Show every Saturday, 1:30 Central Standard Time. That's 1:30 Central Standard Time every Saturday. That's 2:30 on the East Coast and 11:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there, all of the men that are out there taking care of their kids, their sons and their daughters, showing them the right way to be a man or to be a young lady. So happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there, and a big shout out to my dad, Robert Lee King Sr. Happy Father's Day to you. I will see you on Father's Day. So let's get into the show today. What are we going to talk about? Today is going to be about positivity. We're going to talk about the positive ways that you can impact your score. So, of course, there are things that you can do to negatively impact your score by not paying on time and getting sent to collections and things of that nature. But there are some positive things that you can do, even if you have a bad credit score right now, or if you have a low credit score and you want to improve it, or even if you have a decent credit score to good, close to excellent. There are some positive things that you can do to impact your score, and we're going to talk about those items today. So before we get into the show, if you're new to the show, welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. Don't keep this show the best kept secret in podcasts. I want you to share the show with everyone that you know. You can follow the show on Spreaker.com. So if you're listening to it there, if you're on Spreaker, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and follow me there. If you follow me on Spreaker, you should get notification every time a show airs, so you'll never, ever have to miss the 800 Credit Score Man Show. And, of course, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google Play, we're on YouTube, and the 800 Credit Score Man Show has its own app. So I'm going to suggest you go and get the app, and there you'll be able to see all of the shows, all of the titles right in the palm of your hand. So get the 800 Credit Score Man Show app. I worked long and hard on that app, people, so go get that app and download it, and then share that also with your friends. Within that app, you may be able to take that particular show that you like, that you think may be relevant to one of your friends or family members, and you'll be able to text it to them. So then they'll be able to get that particular show and say, hey, listen to this. We were just talking about this. This is what the 800 Credit Score Man has to say about it. So make sure you guys get the app. All right. And if you're new to the show, I come on, I present a topic. I told you today we're going to talk about the positive things that affect your credit score or impact your credit score today. And then somewhere in the middle of the show, we have a question of the day. That question comes from you, the listeners. So the question and that particular portion of the show is only as good as you guys are. I get a lot of questions throughout the week, from week to week, about credit and different scenarios. And so send your questions to 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. That's 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. I will answer you directly, and then you may become a part of the show by being the question of the day. I will keep your identity to myself. I'll just say your first name and maybe the state that you're calling from or you're contacting me from. So please send your questions to 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. And also, we do shout outs. So I'm going to shout people out for their birthdays and anniversaries. If you have a birthday or anniversary and you want to contact me, use that same email address, 800 Credit Score Man at gmail.com. All right. So the very first shout out I want to give for today is for a little guy, TJ. That's Tommy Adams Jr. Happy birthday to you. Tommy is having a birthday party, or TJ's having a birthday party today. Me and two of my sons, both Cameron and Carter, will be in attendance. So we are going to kick it this afternoon with TJ. Happy birthday to you, little man. All right, so let's get into the very first thing that I want to tell you. Now, this particular list isn't necessarily in order of the things that can affect your credit score the most, but these are positive things that you can do to affect your credit score. So number one, more than one type of credit So you need more than just one type of credit. So the types of credit really are just revolving and installment. A revolving type of credit or revolving is, for example, a credit card, or if you have a home equity line of credit, those are revolving types of credit. Then you have your installments. So your installments come from if you have a loan with someone, so you have a particular payment, it's probably the same every month and it's for a particular term. So if you went to one of the places that'll give you a personal loan, whether it's a bank or one of the other entities that will give you a personal loan, so you have a payment of $200 a month, for example, and it lasts for 24 months. That's an installment loan. Your student loan is an installment loan. Your mortgage is an installment loan. Your car note is an installment loan. So you need to have more than just one type of credit. So it really doesn't do you too much good just to have installment loans on your credit report. You also need to have some kind of revolving on your credit report. And that is actually very, very important to have that. If you have both of these entities, you've got your credit cards, which could be a store card, and or it could be from a bank like Bank of America or whoever you happen to bank with. You have a credit card from one of those places and you have installment loans. That's very good for you. When you have credit cards are actually part of, or if you look at your credit cards, they can really affect about 70 to 75% of your total overall score because they would fall in different categories. So when it comes to having your different kinds of debt, which is your mix, you have different kinds of debt, that's 10%. When it comes to your debt utilization, that's another 30%. That's all dealing with your credit cards. And then, of course, if you're paying on time or not, then that's another 35% of your credit score. So having a credit card can really affect how your credit score goes up or if it goes down. So have more than just one kind of installment loan or a revolving loan. Have more than just one kind of credit. That's one thing. Another item that can help you positively affect your credit score is to get credit as soon as possible. ASAP. Get you some credit. So all of the millennials out there, all of the people that have filed bankruptcy, if you have not used credit in a long time, get you some credit and get you some credit right now. This is the reason that people are having a lower credit score and it stays low for a long time, because once they get into some trouble, they decide to bury their heads in the sand and they say, I don't want to have to deal with that anymore unless I absolutely have to. That is the wrong attitude to take. You don't want to have to wait until you have to have some credit, until something goes wrong. You're like, I need a credit card. Your refrigerator goes out. So you're going to Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere to get your refrigerator, and you're going to use that 6 months same as cash, or you think you're going to use it, but you have no credit already. So you need to get you some credit and get you some credit ASAP. Now, for people that are just starting out, I don't want you to worry about what the interest rate necessarily is. Of course, it is very important because the lower your interest rate, the less money you're going to have to pay. But if you're just starting out, you just graduated from high school, you just graduated from college, you haven't really used credit much at all, or you filed bankruptcy in the past, it could have been 2 years ago, could have been 7 years ago, but you haven't done anything credit wise, you need to get some credit, and don't worry about the interest rate at this particular point in time, especially if you're just getting the credit to start establishing or reestablishing some credit, because eventually you're going to get that credit score up, especially if you keep listening to the 800 Credit Score Man show. You're going to get that credit score up and you won't have to worry about that. But you got to start somewhere. So go out and get you some credit and do it ASAP. Don't wait any longer at all. It's better to have credit, have something sitting in your pocket that you never use than to not have it at all, okay? All right, so a third item is something that I shouldn't even have to mention at all. You've got to pay on time. That really goes without saying. You must pay on time each and every time. You can't skip payments and then expect your credit score to remain good. If you skip a payment on a credit card and it winds up being 30 days late, it can drop your score 30 to 40 points. recently, very, very recently, I posted on Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, follow me on Facebook, 800 Credit Score Man on Facebook. Also join the Credit Score Comeback. That's a Facebook group that I have. Join Credit Score Comeback. They get a lot of information throughout the week. We have discussions on there. So please get on there and maybe you'll learn something actually during the week as well, instead of just only listening to the 800 Credit Score Man show. So what was I talking about? So I was saying you've got to pay on time. And just recently, I did post something that showed one of my clients who always paid on time. I mean, 100%, 100% pay on time all the time. And he missed one car payment. He missed one car payment. It dropped his credit score 36 points just like that. Really quick, really fast. He was moving in the right direction. He missed one car payment. Now, from this standpoint, it looks like that it was actually a mistake. And he actually wasn't 30 days late. So, but then that's just more paperwork and more headache you have to deal with. Do not miss payments at all. Now, if you do miss a payment, if you miss a payment with somebody, one of your credit cards, or, you miss your car note, they're going to call you. They're going to send you a letter right away. Don't wait until the next payment is due and go ahead and pay them. Go ahead and pay them right away. Pay them what you owed them from last time, and then go ahead and pay them a little bit more. Of course, there's probably going to be a late charge on there, so make sure you pay all those things. You don't want to just pay whatever the payment is or whatever the minimum is if it's a credit card and not pay that late fee. That may roll over and make it look like, from their standpoint and from the credit bureau standpoint, that you're 30 days late yet again. So if you're 30 days late 2 months in a row, it's not going to say that you're 30 days late. It'll show that you're 60 days late or 30 to 60 days late. That's even worse. It can drop your credit score even more. So don't do that. Make sure you pay on time. And so I just talked about with a car and a car note, with a mortgage, if you're late one time with your mortgage, it can drop your score as much as 80, 90, or even 100 points. You know how long it takes to get 100 points back from your credit score? A long time in most instances. So please, 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 whatever you do, make your payments on time. All right, so let's jump to another thing. Well, this is what I wanted to say about that as well. If you have to make a choice, if you got to make a choice between paying your car note and paying your cable bill, pay your car note. That's on your credit report. So anything that happens to fall on your credit report, those are the things that you want to make sure that you pay first. I know people personally that never, ever, ever pay their cell phone late. They don't want to pay it late. They really value their cell phone like a lot of us do. I know I value my cell phone, especially now that I have the 800 Credit Score Man Show app on it. So I value that absolutely. But if I got to choose between paying my car note and paying my cell phone bill, the cell phone bill is going to have to wait. If I got to choose between paying my mortgage and paying my cable bill, the cable bill is going to have to wait, because those things are actually on my credit report and they're more damaging to me than if I miss out on a show because I missed and they turned my cable off, or if I had to get my phone turned off because I didn't make the payment. Now, if you're paying them every month anyway, they're not going to turn your phone off right away. You may be able to give them a call from your cell phone and say, hey, can I pay a little bit later? You can also do that, of course, if it's your mortgage or if it's your car note, you can do the same thing, but that will hit your credit report. Even if you say, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be 30 days late, it won't matter at all. They're still going to put it on your credit report that you're late. So make sure that you get your priorities straight, and whatever shows up on your credit report, that's what you want to go ahead and pay first. So before I get to the next one, I'm going to throw another shout out right quick, and then we're going to get to the question of the day. So I already shouted out TJ. I want to shout out Calvin Mason. He celebrates a birthday this weekend. I think it's on Sunday. So happy birthday to you, Calvin Mason. That's one of my frat brothers. I